Hi everybody. Many of you have requested a simple video about houses. So let me break it down for you in one of the easiest ways possible. Here's the starting point, the ascendant of the chart. And the houses start at number 1 and they go anti-clockwise all the way to 12. The first house is about self, is about you, is about your self-development, your self-growth, your initiative, the way you move forward or the way you don't move forward. Often your physical characteristics are found in this first house of self. Then it's a great idea to take the houses in pairs because they do resonate in pairs. So you may have a planet or two or more in the first house and nothing in the 7th house, or vice versa. Nonetheless, this lifetime you are likely to be dealing with relationships, which is the 7th house, and self relationships. This is marriage partners, but also business partners, people you consult with. This also comes into the area of one-to-one relationships. So if that's all you remember about the first house, it's about me, my self-development. The 7th house, it's about me interacting in my relationships. You've got the essence of these houses. Let's go on to the 2nd and the 8th house. The 2nd house has to do with your money, your own earned money, how you make money, how you make a living. And it's also to do with your talents, your gifts, because often, especially if you do what you love, chances are you're going to make a living out of doing that. So this is why talents come into this 2nd house. Then let's shoot over to the opposite house. This is other people's money. This might be your spouse's money, and it can also be other people's gifts coming into you. So an inheritance would come into this area of the chart. This is often a grant, a sponsorship. People, it's where mortgages would come in, for example, where another party has more money, but enables you to buy something for you. So this is very much, there's a lot more to it, but I want to just give you the basics here so that you've got something that you've solid ground that you stand on. The 3rd house. The 3rd house has to do with communication, and it has to do with learning and early education and short trips in the neighborhood and siblings, the people and the things that are around you in close proximity. And it has to do with speech and talking. The 9th house has to do with higher education, has to do with travel, long distance travel, trips and traveling. Early education, university education, further and higher, the more spiritual end of the mind, how you use the mind, be it for reading and writing and communications, be it for higher kinds of communication and higher understanding and knowledge. Now let's shoot out to the 4th house. The 4th house is home. It's at the bottom of the chart. This is called the IC of the chart. This is the bottom of the chart where you feel safe, hopefully. Home, family, stability, ancestry, where you come from. That's the 4th. And then we go over to the 10th house and we look up here and this is your career or your work in the world, what you do vocationally in the world. This is the MC, the midheaven. This is the place in the chart where the sun was shining the brightest when you were born, even if you were born in the middle of winter. This place shows what was the brightest place. So this is where you come out and you interact in the world. So the houses are quite Those opposites are what you're trying to balance in a chart. Then we go into the fifth house. The fifth house is children. It's the house of self-employment. It's the house of romance, of love, of creativity. It's where it's a very creative thing to have a child, but it's also creative to look after your child, that which gives you pleasure. Romance is pleasurable. Once you feel romantic about you, then you can take that into a relationship. So this is this development of your creative, unique talents. And then here in the 11th house, this is where you share it. This is where we work with teams, with groups, with community. You bring that originality of you and you share it in the world in some way. Then we have the 6th, 12th house, which is often known as the healing axis, because the 6th house rules health, and it also rules work, what you do and what you feel fulfilled by. Rules your daily habits, what you do on a daily basis does have an effect on your health. And the 12th house is where you withdraw from the world. This is all this busyness and going on. This is the house of silence, of peacefulness, of quiet. It's meditative. It's where you go into the invisible worlds. And it would be more connected with mental and emotional health. This is more the physical health. And here in the middle, I want to draw your attention to this, because this is all the world. And here in the middle of your wheel is a stable, quiet place. And we can transcend our charts eventually. What does that mean? It means so that you are able to find that peaceful, elevated, conscious place within you and not be buffeted around by all the changing life events that are always going to be going on in our world. And here is this place where you're at the center of your wheel. So that really is your quick house description, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.